This is Darth Ravage07 coming at you today with another quick video review. This time of none other than AM-34 Jet Vehicon General and AM-16 Jet Vehicon General's Trooper / awesome flying Vehicons. These guys are part of the Transformers Prime line from it was around 2013, I want to say. These, however, did not see a US release for whatever reason. And the guns that are on the General there are from none other than two versions of this Transformers Robots in Disguise RC. And the car come out with the same RID line that this RC came with, but we never did get these guys. They were part of the Takara series, and I felt like we got shortchanged ultimately for they got the cooler stuff across the pond there with the flying Vehicons. I'm always a sucker for flying Decepticons, and these are both cars and jets at the same time, so you're flying cars of the future, if you will. I did the mod on these guns here to where when they're in robot mode, you can do either peg hole, you still hide the hand there, but it didn't have all that other junk. To actually go with I took these and repurposed them several times, but I like it best with this guy, the Silas Breakdown, which I'll do a review of a little bit later. And I took Krulok's gun from one of the Energon Krulok's and give it to him, and that looks a lot more like a Coyote from G.I. Joe Renegades than anything else. It's one of my favorite figures of all time for the Transformers Prime stuff. Anyway, like the configuration best with the guns on the side there. I don't know if I can do this on camera. Yeah, I did. I just did it. Yeah. So anyway, I really just like the profile of that and how that looks. It's kind of like just really cool fighter, a Starscream's brigade per se, you know, a bunch of flying car generals. Anyway, no wheels whatsoever, no landing gear, and you can see how the underside of that works out. These were really cool for two parts. They didn't come with these guns, like I said. They had a little minicon that had to actually be put together. So you had to put together, build your minicon, and they're somewhere in the stasis downstairs. And you also had to put the labels on, whatnot. And then that's another throwback to G1 or whatnot. I like that they put a little landing gear pod there, and for the most part, that back thing is what it sits on when it's on the ground. Don't know if it's got a flight peg, or you could probably make one out of one of these little spots right here, or have something that can to simulate a flight stand. Very swooshable, very awesome to have in hand. And what's really cool about these and the ones that was released in RID, the transformation is very similar. Pretty much that whole from front to back wraps up into the leg nice and neat, and I wish they would do a masterpiece version of it to where it had the ankle rockers and everything else. I'm going to pause this, get these two guys into robot mode, and show off their excellent robot modes. Thanks again for watching. If you have not visited the stuff down in the description there, please do so. It would go a long way to help me out. Just smash that scribble, hit that like button, comment below, that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm going to pause now and get these guys in robot mode and finish off of these AM-34 and AM-16's quick review. And here are Vehicons General. And here are Vehicons General Bob and Steve, or Steve and Bob, or anyway. He's the Vehicon General, so I call him Bob and I call him Steve. Anyway, I just really like Bob and Steve a lot. They have a lot of the stuff that got stickers applied to them showing here in robot mode. You see it on the wings. They got some pointy appendages there as Vehicons have some sharp jaggedy lines. Let's just go around the block with the Bob General first. The elbows were a little bit different and weird, and no wrist articulation due to the swivel thanks to transformation. But the heads are nicely detailed. It's very show accurate. My son and I enjoyed sitting down and watching this in Transformers Animated back when he was growing up, and had a lot of good times watching this stuff. Just really hate that Hasbro did not get a hold of these for whatever reason to get them released in the US of A. These are Black is always like my favorite color, so of course I'm gonna like this and that size breakdown that I showed a little earlier in this video review. Just a quick spin around the block to show you how everything works out. There's no waist articulation on either one of these. It would be even sweeter if it was. And talk about some stuff that deserves some masterpiece versions to be made. I'd love to get those ankle rockers, get these guys into some more, you know, awesome fighting poses and stuff. Even though they're just like drones in the show or part of Starscream's Armada, they were still a lot of fun on screen, a lot of fun watching the Autobots square off against them. These guys got around really quicker than the guys on the ground, and they would just swarm them in absolute numbers. Let's see. AM-34 and AM-16 probably can be still found, but I want to say I paid $40 for that one, and I paid $35 for that one. It's a bit more than what I should have paid, and I was lucky to find them for what I did. And they're probably unruly now. I didn't really Google it to see what the aftermarket is on these at the moment. Just really grateful to have them in my Transformers Prime Armada there. Just two Jet Vehicons. I got several cars, the R&D cars that transform similar to these guys, with the leg, everything in the car shell wraps up nice and neat in the leg, and still looks just as good as it does in the show. I highly recommend it. If you want to get a hold of them, get one of each, and I keep pointing myself back to I love that color. I just like black better than I like the boring Bob one. He's not boring. They were both really good figures. Like, again, please go ahead and, if you haven't already, check out my stuff in the description below. Subscribe to my channel. It goes a long way to helping out folks like me getting started off. And my stuff's like 5 to 10 minutes long, and I also have a Patreon over there. It goes a long way to help out if we can just I don't know, not lose touch. You know, it's different because this is week 4 of quarantine here where I'm at, and it's just a different way of living and making these video reviews. I've always wanted to do the back catalog and getting ready to finish off. I'm getting ready to sit in on one line and try to just get them knocked out, because I do got several. I got Combiners Wars, I got Titans Return, I got a lot of things to backlog going back to Transformers Prime and whatnot and what have you, and just really do enjoy looking for these when they're in stores. But also sometimes you got to go online and have the challenge there too, to find it online in order to have it, because these guys were not released here in America for a reason. Here's to hoping that they do go back and revisit some older lines, give them the Generations treatment, the love and affection that has been put towards Siege and the Earthrise. And hopefully they don't lose articulation and they gain articulation, and they still are worthy to their original show counterparts. And it's a lot of this is wishful thinking. So anyway, you guys have an excellent, safe day out there. I wanted to do a size breakdown next for Transformers Prime. And thank you again for those who subscribed and those who support the channel. Thank you so very, very much. Y'all have an excellent, safe, happy, healthy week out there. Take care until all are one.